Tinatawag po namin ang aming sarili na the Makati Poblacion Heritage Walkability Pedestrianization Team. Kami po ay binubuo ng mga sumusunod. Ang aming pong coach ay si Attorney Violeta Seva. And during the meetings po, in the beginning and in the TNA workshop, there was a call by Dr. Romero to involve not only the LGUs, the NGO, the private sector, civil society, and the academe. So in response to that call and to that challenge, we formed our team consisting of Mr. Ernie Camarillo from the Office of the Mayor, myself po, sa OM din po, Architect Tess Tamayo, who's also here, from the Office of the Mayor, Engineer Anamar Felipe from the Engineering Department of Makati, Ms. Mitch Macas from our Urban Development Department, Mr. Gilbert de los Reyes from our Department of Environmental Services, Mr. Nino Marie Cristobal from our MAPSA or Makati Public Safety Department. Our representative from Ayala Land couldn't make it today, but he was present yesterday. Mr. Errol Barba and Ms. Lalaine from Makati PWD Federation. Engineer Luke Ivan Moro from the University of Makati, represented today by Mr. Poms Adamos. And from Barangay Poblacion, which is the location of the Makati Poblacion Heritage Zone, Mr. Henry Argel of the Peace and Order Committee. Background of the project. We chose first the location since we already have the Makati Poblacion Heritage Project. So ang aming pong project location ay ang Barangay Poblacion Heritage District. Okay? Barangay Poblacion consists of 76 streets. Out of the 76 streets, there are 13 streets covered by this heritage zone. So the Makati Poblacion Heritage Conservation Project, or MPHCP, is one of the priority urban renewal projects of Makati 21 Development Agenda, which is a master plan conceptualized in 2005. A major component of the master plan is sustainable transportation, such for example, the migration to alternative non-motorized transport, pedestrianization, and the bikeway system. And included in that is the transport master plan, and it includes the transport policy directions of the city, which coincide with the concepts and principles of inclusive mobility and sustainable urban transport. It is, as I've said, there is a transport master plan, and in 2008 to 2013, na-cover po yun, and it is currently being updated. The status of this project is that there have been developments ongoing within that area for the physical infrastructure. Yung museum po, Museo ng Makati is already renovated. There has been a traffic rerouting and traffic rerouting scheme, traffic calming measures. E-jeepney routes are already in place and operating, and as well as intangible heritage activities on year-round basis. So just to give you an overview, it tackles different aspects of Makati Heritage Project. We have the physical, the Heritage Core Development, the following: Plaza Cristo Rey Development, DM Rivera Street Development, Tourist Center, the New Barangay Hall, the Museo Restoration, JP Rizal Plazas, Poblacion Plaza Development, and the Boardwalk. We also have the installation of entry markers at major entry points. For the social, cultural aspect, community participation, because in Poblacion, we have organized street associations also, which we call Calvaristas. We also have continuous IEC, or continuous information education campaign. In the transport aspect, we have alternate roadside parking management, traffic enforcement, education, and information. And in finance and marketing, we are proud to say that there is funding provided by the local government for the Heritage Project, as well as we also seek partnerships with other sectors. For the institutional, there is also a plan for the creation of the Heritage Council and Heritage District and an interim body for the project management as well as the creation of district management body. With that po, as I've said, ito po ang naming na-devise kahapon at na-identify na project because we want to tie it up and interrelate it with the Makati Heritage Project na tutugon po dun sa transport aspect and inclusive mobility aspect. For that area po, ang una pong problema namin is we need to have a starting point. We have to have a springboard to propel all other grandiose projects in the future or those that we aspire to have in the future. So unang-una pong na-identify namin, ang problema po namin, ano yung pagbabasehan namin. So the problem is the lack of baseline data on the accessibility of the heritage zone. So what would have been the causes of that are the following. First, we don't have a team to do that po. So the cause, lack of organized team to do the accessibility audit, and then we also lack a developed customized assessment tool. So kailangan po meron kaming model and tool na gagamitin doon. And then for the effects, in connection with that, we cannot because we don't have the accessibility audit team, we don't have the assessment tool, we cannot fully address the needs of the pedestrians, the bikers, the PWDs, children, elderly, and other members of the vulnerable sector. And because of that also, we have no data to serve as basis for development of an enhanced pedestrian mobility plan for the heritage zone. Okay. So from that, yun po ang magiging stepping stone namin sa mga susunod pang proyekto. Okay. This one is our log frame po, which we formulated yesterday after much deliberation and discussion. And I will present it to you rin po in the way that we presented it yesterday, from the most specific tasks up to the broader perspective of our target project. So we began with our tasks. Number 1, to organize a project team, identify evaluators, or auditors, conduct auditors, evaluators training. Number 4, research and develop the tool. 5, conduct of the actual audit. Number 6, analysis and report writing. Okay, so our success indicators for number 1, one project team organized with members. For number 2, evaluators, auditors identified, and at least one training conducted for them. 100% participation of the auditors, of the team identified and evaluators. Then, conduct planning exercise for heritage walkability. Then, pertinent laws and development plans reviewed. For our MOVs, or means of verification, we have executive order issued creating the project team, and the minutes of the meetings, and the pictures that we will produce after which. Of course, we have also to anticipate what can go wrong. So, for this item, we have this. Team members are not the right staff or the person for the job, and they may be uncooperative. And for number 5, our success indicator, 100% completion of the actual audit. For our MOV, after activity report, and what can go wrong, team members are not the right staff or persons for the job. Uncooperative. Also, for number 6, 100% completion of the document report. And for MOV, availability of the report document, including the modules and worksheets used in the actual audit. So, next po namin is our output. Okay. For the output of the team, number 1, we identified the audit report done. Number 2, the project plan prepared, which we entitled Walkability Accessibility Audit of the Heritage Zone. Then for our success indicators, 100% streets audited, which as I've mentioned, consists of 13 streets within the Heritage Zone, and increase in participation in inclusive mobility activities since maihikayat na rin po yung mga ibang tao to advocate for inclusive mobility by this project. Then for our means of verification, access audit form accomplished and the number of sponsorships and partnerships forged. Kasi po nga, pag nakikayat na, magiging attractive na to future sponsors also who will support the project. For our what can go wrong, it may have been a wrong entry, discrepancy, inaccurate data and information, lack of budget to conduct and prepare the plan. Then we now go to the outcome, which pertains to the local government itself. So our outcome is more inclusive transport in the Heritage District. Our success indicator is to improvement in accessibility and walkability, and increased mobility and decrease in road accidents. For our means of verification, for that item on improvement of accessibility and walkability, increase in pedestrian count, increased mobility, testimonials from pedestrians in general. And then for our what can go wrong, pwede rin pong maging uncooperative ang private sector, ang mga vendors sa mga nakakalat sa kalye, and because of increase also in people walking and pedestrians walking, there may also be increase in solid waste production and lack of solid waste management ordinance, enforcement, increase in petty crimes and theft, because also there may be a risk in security by the increase in the number of people traversing the area. And for impact on society, ito na po yung broader perspective ng amin pong project. Improved environmental quality, improved economic status of enterprises, and sustainable tourism. For improved environmental quality, our success indicators, improve and maintain air quality over ambient time. Meron po kami kasama from our Department of Environmental Services. Ang PEG po daw for this AQM monitoring is 10 micrograms per cubic meter. Yan. Ang Makati po as of 2013 is 9.7 UG per cm. So pasok po siya. So pasado po kami. And also, according to our resource person, this device is located in Guadalupe. So mas swerte po ang Makati because the AQM is monitored and this is manned by DNR and owned by DNR, and it is verified by third party. So, accurate po siya. Then for our MOV reports, yes, from AQM report from DNR, from the Makati Health Department, Hospital na Makati, and the DES. What can go wrong? Pwede pong magkaroon ng malfunction ng machine because machine nga po siya. Lack of participation by the stakeholders and increase in construction activity. Dito po sa pangalawa namin, economic status enterprise, ang amin pong success indicators, increase economic activity, increase in the number of new businesses registered by 5%, increase in business tax collection by 5%, and increase in employment. For our MOV, for this, easily po, meron po tayong Business Permits Office who can furnish us with the report and the financial report as well as the PESO or employment report. For the barangay, this is a work in progress po, so this will follow later on po. What can go wrong? Of course, there may be difficulty in formalizing small business because they have to go through the requirements before they can put up their small businesses. Then, of course, sa pagdami ng tao, magkakaroon din po ng security concerns, and yun nga po, yung data capture kanina po. For sustainable tourism, what we aim here is to attract tourists, but at the same time, still being able to preserve the local culture, the traditions and heritage within the heritage zone, and without harming the environment para po maging sustainable siya. Okay. For our Gantt chart, we have identified the steps that we have to take or our activities. At the start of the meetings and the TNA workshop, Dr. Romero always told the participants that it should be doable within a 6-month period. So, pasok naman po kami dito sa 6-month period, and we believe that it is doable within 6 months. So, for number 1, organized team, requesting the mayor to issue an executive order to formally create the team. It would take us 1 week, as well as defining the scope and limitation of the team, defining the role of each member, and setting the goal or purpose of the audit. So our target is the first week of July. Actually, we are already working on it as we are speaking today. We already have planned meetings within this week. And then for our develop accessibility audit tool, interagency coordination, 3 weeks po, from July to the last week of July, second week of July to the last week of July. Number 6, identify deputized audit team members, which we target on the first week of August, also 1 week, as well as number 7, orient team members on accessibility IM. Trainers training, 1 week also after the third week of August. Training of field auditors, also 1 week, last week of August. Then preparation of audit survey materials, 1 week, first week of September. Ito pa ang medyo matagal, yung conduct of the accessibility audit itself, which would, our target would be 1 month. The whole month of September. And then the last part po, consolidation of the results and the preparation of the analysis and presentation for the decision makers. 4 na linggo din po or 1 month. So, our resource assignment matrix includes our stakeholders po for the project, the technical working group, the Office of the Mayor, the Engineering Department, the MAPSA, UDD, Liga and the Barangay, MSWD, DS, MPWDF, Civil Society, and the University of Makati. We just identified the activities from the Gantt chart, and then we place whether these agencies and offices are for responsible, A, approval, N, notify, C, consult, and S, support. And for our budget, we came up with this project cost of 196,900 pesos. We made the project profile, and our estimate is this figure. So the source of funds would be from the Office of the Mayor and or the Department of Engineering Department Fund and or the 1% of the ERA, Internal Revenue Allotment for PWDs and senior citizens. Sana po magamit din. Ito ay kasama na dito yung mga training and seminar fees, supplies, materials, audit tool, development, reproduction, actual audit po in the field, yung after activity report, and final report document po. So for our last slide, project adherence to inclusive mobility principles. So we are confident enough that the project that we have identified truly responds to the principles adhered to by the inclusive mobility. So making Poblacion heritage zone a walkable, bikeable, accessible city, mobility with safety, disaster sensitive and civility, green, pleasant environment, moving people, not vehicles, pro-poor, pro-seniors, pro-child, clean air, clean streets, and clean facilities, and mobility of all for all and by all. Thank you very much.